success can be measured in many different ways, but when we have an outcome of a student that takes advantage of a program and then they're able to translate that into the goals of their life. And that's what Juan's been able to do. And I'm just so happy for him that he's getting to realize some of the dreams he has about going to school and getting an education and getting a higher education.
His nickname right off the bat, I called him Mayor, because he'd go down the hallway, shaking hands, people knew him, and I'm like, man, Juan is different.
Juan was interesting when he got to high school. What he would do is take the bus home over there. He would do his homework, but then he'd help out all the younger kids with whatever they were needing. And so it was kind of fun to see him grow into a leadership role over there instead of the guy talking all the time or punching the guy next to him. So
you just got to push yourself, especially if you want a better future. That's my thing. I want a better future for myself and for my family, so I just got to push myself. I started getting everything together, got myself together, and I felt motivated to do more. Over time, kind of like the dream grew and grew more.
The first Taste of Riverside that I attended, Juan came up and introduced himself and thanked me for being a sponsor and a board member, and I was so impressed by him. And so the opportunity to help him attend CMU came up, and I volunteered to do that because he's really an amazing kid, and I wish I could do that for all the rec kids because they're all equally amazing.
I think it helped him to know that people believed in him and that he was someone that people cared about and had something to offer the community.
Just knowing tutors like that, they would help me, support me, encourage me to keep going. I met a lot of my friends at rec, and now we go to college together, which is kind of cool.
He definitely carried himself. Now, someone would argue, that's just his nature. But I think if you asked him, he would say, no, it's the program. Like, it gave me the confidence, gave me the skills. It really was the final polish piece to what I already had. So that's what the program does. We're not changing personalities. We're saying, you already have it in you. We're just going to enhance that. We're going to magnify that.
I think all young people need a place to go where they can learn, where that's the focus.
Riverside Education Center is a great, safe place for kids to come. A lot of times they're latchkey kids because both parents work. And so it's a place they can come and have access to snacks and have access to computers, have access to tutors who can help them with subjects that they're having trouble with.
We request that each student who enrolls has 2 or more identified risk factors. So those can be single-parent household, free and reduced lunch, minority, not proficient at grade level, incarcerated parents, any of the things that will go into play. Each time you add a risk factor onto in a child's life, it increases their chance that they won't succeed academically.
Prior to 2 years ago, we only had one student that had gone all the way through CMU. He's an engineer and works back in Virginia now. And some of his nieces and nephews have come through the program, but it's fun to watch these kids see other kids go to college and say, well, I can do that too. A lot of times they don't realize there's a lot of financial help out there. We have a lot of donors that I hope will keep donating that help kids with things like books.
Kids just start losing themselves when they're in high school freshman year. So we see a lot of elementary, middle schoolers stay, but freshman year high school, like, oh, I don't have to go anymore. I got this myself. It's high school. It doesn't matter. It's more freedom. It's just that transition phase. They think they have a lot more freedom. They think they're adults now, so they just feel like they don't need to go anywhere.
You just don't see it. And the Hispanic males that come through don't have this laser focus on where they want to go. Especially when you ask one, he says, I love my parents, but they're not as involved as much. They got their own problems. I just picked myself up by the bootstraps and said, I got to do it. I got to do it on my own. That's unique. And that's a kid that's going to be someone. That's a kid that's going to go somewhere and come back and help this community.
REC doesn't only support you with your academic life, they also try to help you socially, and they give you that support that sometimes your parents can't provide.
It brings help to families, like my family needed help. It introduces you to a bunch of people, and that is what a community is. I never would have met so many kids if it weren't for rec, or so many adults that helped me out so much if it weren't for rec.
As a previous public defender in juvenile court and working with a lot of kids who were in trouble, I saw early on that education is vital. I've been really impressed with the Riverside Educational Center and the things they are accomplishing with a very small dollar amount.
In addition to providing services at Riverside and at Junction High School, we're also doing programming at Mount Garfield Middle, Book Cliff Middle, Orchard Mesa Middle, Rocky Mountain Elementary, and Dos Rios Elementary. So it's really an exciting time for us because we have wanted to expand for a long time, but we're a nonprofit organization. So fundraising all of our money every year is a significant challenge.
Kids would realize it's not impossible, it's just going to be tough and hard. Continuing to support rec would reach more kids like me and reach other kids that aren't exactly like me but do still need help and want to continue their education. So we do appreciate you supporting us and giving us help and being there for us.